When you think about vaccines, what kind of thoughts do you envision? For most, it's a needle stick and a sore arm. Vaccines can be the source of anxiety for many, over pain or illness, but vaccinations are an important part of healthcare and infection control. In the next few minutes, I will discuss the history of vaccines, how vaccinations prevent illness and disease, and how you can help prevent illness and infection. Information from the timeline of vaccines tells us that in the late 1700s, in the midst of an epidemic of smallpox, a scientist by the name of Edward Jenner began experimenting with ways on how to prevent people from contracting smallpox. His idea involved taking secretions from an infected milkmaid with smallpox and placing them into the clean, fresh cut of an uninfected 8-year-old boy. This is a picture of Edward Jenner and the 8-year-old boy that he inoculated against smallpox. The experiment proved successful as the young boy never contracted smallpox, and many more people began getting the vaccination. Some of the diseases that have been controlled by vaccines since Edward Jenner's idea and experiment that was successful are measles, mumps, rubella, rubiola, and polio. The illness had crippling effects and can be deadly to both adults and children. But thanks to vaccines, the threat of these diseases has been greatly reduced. The threat could be reduced even more if more and more people were vaccinated. In order to gain more acceptance and willingness of people to vaccinate, I believe it's important for you first to understand how a vaccination works. According to the website healthychildren.org, immunizations work by injecting a weakened virus with a needle somewhat similar to this into the muscle of a person who is getting vaccinated. Once the virus is inside the body, the immune system, which acts as our security system, begins to attack the foreign invader. Once the immune system attacks that foreign invader, it then begins to make memory cells that remember that particular infection or virus or bacteria, whatever it may be, and help to build resistance against it so that in the future, if you come in contact it, you do not get ill. Sounds great, right? So then why do so many people choose not to vaccinate? There are several reasons why people choose not to vaccinate, but here are some reasons why you should choose to vaccinate. The Center for Disease Control offers a wealth of knowledge and information related to healthcare and vaccines, and according to their website, there are several reasons to vaccinate. The first reason is because serious illnesses are still out there, and they're in our communities. And though we have come a long way since the time of Edward Jenner and his experiment, disease can still be deadly. When it comes to borders, disease and illness have none. The use of vaccines in our country has greatly reduced the risk of disease and illnesses. The occurrence of diseases has greatly dropped as well. But there are many countries that are not protected against these diseases, and through travel and exposure to other people, the disease can return. Vaccines protect our friends, family, our communities, and loved ones. They also prevent fewer missed days of work and school and allow us to control protection of ourselves and loved ones. Vaccinations are an important part of healthcare and infection control. Scientist Edward Jenner had an idea for an experiment that led to the demise of smallpox and led future scientists to develop further vaccinations to help prevent against disease. With the administration of these vaccinations, our bodies develop immunity to horrible diseases such as measles, mumps, rubella, or polio. There are several reasons why we should be vaccinated against these diseases, and by choosing to vaccinate, we can protect ourselves, our family, and our communities, help prevent infection and diseases, and choose to vaccinate. In my audience, I have my fiance Dan, my daughter Burnley, and my dad Fred.